I think therapy is great for anybody, and we don't have to be at a place where things are massively overwhelming us to seek treatment. So being able to work with somebody in a mental health setting is valuable for all of us, I believe. Just to have a safe place to talk about what's going on in our lives. Here we take great care to give good attention to the people we work with. We care about ourselves, we care about the people we work with, and what sets us apart is that we're working to better understand ourselves. We're working to constantly develop who we are both as people, and to know ourselves better, to have deeper relationships, and in doing so, I think that enriches our work and creates more of a space for people to come and do their own work. What you can expect from therapy is a collaborative process, working with the therapist to figure out how are we going to best help you change, get unstuck, improve the areas of your life or your family that you want to improve. So it's a co-created process. What it would look like when you come in is an initial meeting where you're just telling the therapist a bit about what's going on in your life and what you're hoping to get out of it, and the therapist getting information, history, finding out the nature of the problem, things you've tried that have worked, things that you tried have worked for a little while and stopped working, things you've tried that didn't work, and trying to find some new ways to move forward. I think what you can also expect here, which is unique in our approach, is that we also put the responsibility on the client to drive their therapy. And we bring all sorts of tools. We're constantly keeping up with the latest research. We're constantly trying to better understand ourselves and how to do this work in an even more effective way. But it really comes down to the client coming to session and being willing to take on responsibility for their own personal growth, for their own development of their relationships. Success in therapy isn't always easy to define. It's not always easy to measure. Sometimes it's a felt sense of things getting better. Sometimes it's measuring that symptoms are decreasing, so then we know that the problems are improving. But in the work, we're always kind of checking in, seeing how it's going, asking the people we work with what's working so far, what isn't working, how can we make this an even richer experience. And the interesting thing that we've seen about therapy is that over time, we'll see change happening, and it happens subtly, and it happens in the relationship between the therapist and the client. So what I've seen over time is that relationship becomes a conduit for change. And there'll be times we have to look back and say, do you remember how you were a year ago? Do you remember how you would have handled that? And look at how you handled it now. And the person goes, oh, wow, oh, that is better. It's sort of like when you see a relative who has a child, and then you don't see him for a couple of years, and it's, wow, look how much you've grown. Whereas the parents, they're not noticing the change because they're seeing it incrementally each day. So we try to also take some times where we step back and have the client really assess if it's successful. I mean, that's how we know if what we're doing is working, is if the client we're working with says, yeah, this is going in the right direction.